YouTube, what's up with it, man? It's Trey out. Now look, today I'm about to be reacting to this video. It said if you die in this virtual reality game, you die in real life as well. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be playing the game. If you die on the game, you die for real. Now, there might be some bread on the line. I don't know what this is. I ain't never seen it before, but we about to see what they on though. Cause it better be worth playing this game if you gonna die in real life if you die on the game. I ain't gonna lie.
In a near-distant future, 8 high-profile gamers are called to be reunited at the top of a luxury building.
Okay,
they are
8
all
players.
offered a winning prize of $100,000
eight
after
high-profile
participating
gamers.
in a new game called the Call Up.
For
When all members
100,000.
arrive at the meeting place, a robotic voice on the ceiling greets and asks them to sign in on tablets with their usernames, and that from now on, they will be referring to each other as such. They are asked to dress in high-end motion capture suits.
Whatever
Adam,
that little
the
voice
most
playing in the
exciting gamer,
background, you
is
know what
mocked
time
about
it
his
is.
fatness during the undressing, and Carl shows a severe burn scar around his ribs,
Yeah, they getting on-
explaining that his user's
they
name
body
comes after
shaming
his
dude.
girlfriend's cat. Once they all suit up, they enter a large, white room with a big scanner in it. They must enter inside the scanner and say their
They
user's
do look
names.
goofy in these little
They're
skin
now
suits
able
though.
to get the high-tech armor. The gear suits are made with advanced technology that allows the player
Look, they gotta
become
put on
fully
real
immersed in the
armor.
game.
That mean they probably gonna
Adam
get shot at and
comments that these
everything.
suits
Nah,
were
I ain't
only
doing that.
available
I
to
ain't
the
doing that.
Millionaire Elite,
I ain't doing
but
that.
for some reason they were selected to try them out. Zahid loses the thrill of being part of it because of his nickname,
Zahid.
Terrorist_1. He feels it can become offensive because of his Bosnian roots.
Wait a
The
minute.
voice
No
in the ceiling
disrespect,
says
but
that
that's
the
funny
game
though. I
can't
ain't gonna lie.
start until all players are ready, but Zahid decides to leave the place.
Man, he felt
Just when he
it's
gets to
100,000
door,
on the line.
He shows that it's
It's
locked,
100,000.
and they are trapped there.
Oh, it's over.
Zahid
They can't go
agrees to
nowhere. They
continue
can't go
against
nowhere.
his will, so everyone is ready to begin. When they put on their virtual reality helmets, the whole scenario
Bro,
in front of
and
them
they
changes,
trapped?
now
No.
being on a post-apocalyptic
Nope.
virtual world inside the building. Their suits are replaced with military uniforms, and although everything feels tangible, things on the stage don't respond to their touch
Hey, that's
in the
kind
real
of
world.
tough.
That's when a burly sergeant appears, telling them what their mission in that place will
Hey,
be.
that's
By
like some
raising
real
their helmets,
virtual reality though.
everyone
For real,
confirms
for
there's
real.
not an extra player as the sergeant, but an NPC that will give some bits of advice through the game. They follow the sergeant across the stage, and he presents their weapons, with everyone impressed by how real they look and feel. Actually,
Somebody
the
finna get
weapons are just
boom. It's
props to
over
have a
with.
reference
They don't know how to
point.
handle no guns. They
The
just some regular
sergeant's
people. It's
tutorial
over with.
consists of
Somebody
teaching
finna
them
shoot.
how to use
Somebody
their
finna
weapons
shoot
by
somebody
shooting
on
some
accident.
bombs.
Oh, it's over with.
Some of them hit
They
and some
finna
fail,
shoot somebody.
and that's when they learn about how a vest is their only form of defense. In case they receive a direct shot from the enemy, they will lose the vest and will be exposed. To prove his point, the sergeant shoots a couple of players so they can lose their vests. If that happens and they are in critical condition,
Hold on.
the only salvation is to use serums to restore their
He
lives.
better get his vest back
The
though. I ain't
sergeant
gonna lie.
explains
He
that
gotta
a
heal
dangerous
up.
terrorist commando stormed the entire
You got another
building.
vest? Okay, he got another
The
vest. He got
game's
another
primary
vest.
goal is to kill all the terrorists and get to the first floor alive. Whoever succeeds in doing so will win the real-life prize, 100,000.
Bro, why does his mouth look
The
like that
level
when he
starts at
talking? They
once,
don't.
and everyone is led by Andre, who has some experience in such scenarios after being part of the military.
Okay,
The team
Andre.
inspects the floor and
Andre
finds the
X
enemy
Spec
for the
Ops.
first time.
Okay.
Andre manages to kill the first terrorist without casualties.
Okay,
The
get
voice
right,
tells the
Andre.
players they have completed the level, with all points going to Andre. To enter the next level, they must go down the stairs,
Andre
finding a
finna get right,
mechanism
hold
that
on.
does not allow them to go down any more floors until they finish the current level. If they try to go down, they will be electrocuted by
They gonna get
electrical
blew up.
wiring.
It's over with.
The new scenario
You gotta
is
complete
similar
the
to
level.
the previous one, but with new guns for the players, so Andre teaches the group
Hey,
how
hold
to
on,
use them.
hold on.
Level 2 involves hiding,
Oh, they got
dodging,
some heavy
and
artillery
preparing a
now. It's about that
counterattack
time.
to defeat the terrorists.
Hey,
who
look, he
possess new
think
weapons
he
as
think he
well.
like that for real.
After saving Adam from a direct hit, Andre loses his vest, making the best player exposed to any further wounds.
Nah, I ain't
Taylor
doing
is
that
faced with
though.
the
I'm
terror
not
of
saving
the
your
game's
life,
rules. She
and I'm
goes
gonna
by
die
the
for
username
real,
Slayer,
for real. If I ain't
but
got no
reveals
vest, so
to
I'm not saving
everyone
your
that
life.
She is not who she says she is. Apparently, she replaced the real Slayer girl, so she doesn't belong there and wants to get out of the game as soon as possible. She is calmed
it's
down
over
by
with.
Shelly,
She ain't really
the
on
other
that for
gamer
real.
girl, who says that nothing of that is real and it's just a simulation. Despite this, Shelly thinks the gunfire feels accurate when she fights one of the terrorists. This
Look how she
terrorist
holding the
ends
gun.
up killed by Carl, having his first victory. But it does not last
She was
long,
holding the
as he
gun
receives
like,
a
nah.
surprise shot in the back. Carl gives up.
He got
asking
shot in the back?
NPC to leave him alone, but the enemy shoots him again, almost at point-blank range.
What I
knocking
tell
him
you?
to the ground.
What I tell you?
Before the situation
Why he jump
gets
like that,
worse,
though?
Shelly saves Carl, who agonizes on the floor. Carl's response not only ends up being quite exaggerated but also borderline traumatic.
Bro, he got shot
The
for
damage
real,
received
Shelly.
is
You
not
don't
only
even know that.
noticeable in the game but in real life, as if a bullet had really hit him.
That nigga got shot
Shelly
for real.
removes her helmet to make sure everything is okay, and to her surprise, Carl has no apparent damage on the outside.
He feeling
The
it
heat
though.
perpetuates until
Hey, that
Andre
might be
appears
one of them
and
new
gives him the
things they
serum
got to
heal.
where. Oh yeah.
In the game, the bloody hole and the puddle around Carl are restored immediately, feeling better but still traumatized.
Healed
by
that
the
fool. Look, he
experience.
revived his partner.
They all take a break and have a meeting to discuss the
It's just like
possibility of
Warzone.
everything being part of a reality TV show. Zahid panics and fails to try to take off his suit, which seems to be quite tight and
I would
bent to the
have,
bottom.
bro. If I would have
He
tried to
theorizes
take
that
my
this is
suit
a
off
human
and I
test
couldn't
for
take it
Andre's
off, I would have
abnormal
lost my
weapons
mind, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Some
fool.
people still think it's a sham, and even if it is truthful, they care too much about the prize money to stop playing. The tension against
100,000
Andre
100,000 on the
increases,
line.
and he chooses to leave
Remember,
after
100,000.
facing heavy accusations,
Hey,
leaving
Cliff.
them all to their fate. With his helmet raised up and staying in the plane of the real world, an angry Andre goes to the bathroom, not realizing the
Yeah,
game
what
still
Andre
goes
on?
on. He is surprised in front of the mirror by several revived NPCs, and he only has time to lower his helmet before taking a direct hit. Everyone is alerted that the new level has begun.
Bro, this fool,
As soon as everything
bro,
starts, Edward
this
is
fool
shot,
just
falling wounded to the ground.
he just walked
Luckily,
over there
he has a
chilling in the
serum that
mirror.
uses to heal
The
himself.
game done started. He done
Taylor
got
tries to
boomed.
get out through the level obstruction, but her plan is frustrated because of the electric wiring. All perform random actions, with Adam throwing a grenade that manages to hit
What?
the terrorists.
Ain't no way he
The
just
only
threw a
successful
grenade like
move of
this.
the round.
Mm.
The next scene shows Andre trying to look for help while crawling on the ground, but only feels himself slowly bleeding to death. The
Ah,
voice in the
Andre
ceiling
need to get
tells the
revived.
players they passed level 2, with Adam getting the higher score.
Revive
That's
Andre.
when
What
we hear
y'all
Andre's
niggas
cries
doing?
for help in the distance. Before being struck down by internal pain, Andre manages to hear a timer counting down.
Oh,
Once
it's
the
over
timer
with.
ends, it discharges a high voltage current from the helmet into his brain,
Oh!
causing Andre to convulse to death.
Andre gone. It's
The others
over
find
with.
him lying on
He
the
was their
ground,
only. He
unable
was
to
their
save him,
only
and
help.
leaving
Fool.
the
It's
game
over.
with only
He was
7
the only one who
lives.
knew how to boom
So
something.
he
They don't know what
grabs
they
a
doing.
fire extinguisher, panicking and sweating, asking for a volunteer to help him remove his helmet. Carl immediately offers to do it, so Zahid ducks and braces for impact. Carl does
It's
his
over
best,
with.
but nothing happens.
He
The
finna
material
kill this
is too
fool with the
rigid
fire
and solid,
extinguisher. He
leaving
trying to
Zahid
get.
deep.
He trying to get to him.
In the virtual
It's on their
reality,
spine. I know
the
you see
sergeant
them mugs on
suddenly
your
appears to
spine.
beat
Whenever
up
something's
Zahid
on your
for trying to
spine and
break
they
the
not
rules,
playing like that,
with everyone
it's
feeling
either gonna
puzzled.
paralyze this
He
fool.
assures the others
It's gonna
that
shock
there
the
will
hell
be
out
real
of him.
consequences if they try to get out of the game. Despite their disadvantaged position, they manage to advance through the following levels without losses, learning how to use new
Damn,
weapons
they on
and
level
guns,
20?
facing
23?
things like attacking with tactical knives and hand-to-hand combat to avoid
They getting
gunfire
right
due to
though.
gas leaks.
And
During one of the
that's really
levels,
getting right
Adam
in
and
real
Carl
life
are
because they really
wounded,
doing
and
them
the team
things.
uses a couple of serums to save them. After a while they see that it is already night in the real-life city, so the tired group of players tries once again to get out of there, only in a more desperate way by pushing a cart against the windows, trying to get the attention of someone below.
Boy, but I
They
thought he was
manage
gonna
to
go
break the window a little,
straight to the
but
window
just
and hit the
before they
ground. On
can get
God,
it,
I
the
did.
sergeant attacks again the insurgent Zahid, only this time the damage ends up being more realistic than usual, and ends up breaking his leg badly in real life. Zahid asks the others to hide him for the following
Wait a
levels
minute, wait a
and
minute.
continue by themselves.
He was supposed to help
After a few
him,
moments,
and he done
he
hit
dies
this
of blood
fool,
loss.
knocked him down the
The
stairs.
new level starts and Marco,
This nigga
the
died
most
of blood
ruthless
loss
player,
from breaking
falls
his
after a
knee?
brief encounter with the enemy.
A kneecap
Shelley
lost that
gives
much
Marco her
blood?
serum to
Nah,
save
that's
him,
crazy.
while
I ain't gonna
Taylor,
lie. That's
who
crazy.
remained hidden to avoid conflict and damage, realizes that an enemy is behind her, so she decides to counterattack. Amid the whole chaos,
She
Carl
liked
talks
that
with
though.
Shelley,
That was the same girl
realizing
that was
from her
scared earlier.
identification that she has no family, and Shelley confirms this by saying that her parents are deceased. Carl also comments on how he is alone as well, with Adam saying that he lives with his grandmother with Alzheimer's, Marco is divorced, and Edward is an only child and an orphan. They deduce that by being illegal, Zahid had no safe place to go either, discovering
Damn,
that
ain't
they were
nobody
picked
got
for
nowhere
the
to go.
game due to their lonely condition, and no one will search for them in the worst case scenario.
That makes sense.
For the next level,
you know they
find
always
the
gonna
sergeant
talk to you
beating
if
and
you ain't
torturing
got
a
no.
hostage from the terrorist commando in a different room. The team's new mission is to extract a password from the hostage to defuse a bomb inside the building.
Bro, I
before
thought
it
the black
explodes.
dude was supposed to be
The guy
helping
only
them,
knows
bro. How he
Russian, and
how
he's
he bad
connected to
now?
voltage transmitters, so it involves mental strength that no one has, no one but Edward. He instantly presses the high voltage equipment to get the password, not caring for the man's cries and pleas of mercy. After receiving too
I
much
thought that was the
damage,
woman with
the
short hair.
man gives a word that Adam introduces as the password in the computer. The terrorist laughs for being a false clue, and in the blink of an eye Taylor kills him. Marco
Oh,
blames Adam for putting the code wrong and lashes out at him in real life.
Oh,
accidentally
hold
killing
on.
Taylor as well. Edward points out that the sergeant is holding an
Y'all
elevator
can't
door
turn
at
on
the
each
other
other,
side of the
fool.
room and tells them to get in there to
y'all
protect
gotta work as a
themselves from the
team, or
imminent
it's over with.
explosion.
I'm telling
During
you.
their descent, the elevator stops abruptly, and they try to force their way
Oh,
out.
they finna get out for real.
Marco holds the door but leaves Adam behind with him for screwing up the password level early. From now on, the two of them advance several levels at once.
Hold
the
on,
elevator,
fool. He
not
gonna
without some
wait a
friction along
minute.
the way.
He gonna
At the
keep
same
him in there
time,
because he got the
rest of the
password
team
wrong.
replace with more
That's what the
weapons and
that's what the
continue
dude
the
gave him. Anybody would have put
For
the
next
password
test,
in wrong.
The terrorists throw a smoke
I
grenade.
ain't gonna
which
lie,
seems to
fool.
trigger
He
a
would have to
painful
see
memory
me,
in
bro.
Carl.
I ain't gonna
They
lie.
hide, and he tells
I would've-
Shelley
I would've-
he lost
I
his
would've got dude
girlfriend
up
in a
better. I ain't
fire
gonna lie. I
trying
would've
to
killed
save
him.
her,
I ain't gonna lie.
explaining the scars in his body. Meanwhile, Marco makes of Adam a walking decoy, marching first at
See
the
what I'm
terrorist
saying? I
shows
knew he
up,
was gonna
and
use
just
him like
as they
that. Then he
thought,
fizzing
one
it.
appears.
Why would a whoop
Marco
boy
pushes
say?
Adam until falling, but nothing happens, as he has
Bro,
no
get your
bullets.
man, get up.
The terrorist responds and shoots Adam in the side.
Nah, ain't no
After
way
a
you
few
get killed by
moments,
somebody who
Adam
just walk
dies,
out and just
leaving
say,
the game with only 5
"Nah, I ain't getting
players.
killed by him." No,
Taylor
no, no,
finds a
no.
serum
You gotta
which
be
is
slide
intercepted
canceling
by
or something.
Marco, who demands it. Upon refusal, Marco lashes out sharply at Taylor, commenting on how much she resembles his hated ex-wife. After a brief exchange of
You
words,
worried
Marco
about your
shoots
ex-wife?
Taylor, taking the serum. Marco
He
meets
shot
Carl
her?
and they wonder
He
if
talking about his
they've
ex?
seen the others.
Nah, he fooling.
After
There's
some
something wrong with him.
investigation,
He talking about his
Carl comes
ex-wife,
across
then he
Taylor's
shoot
corpse
her
and
for a
realizes
serum.
that
I
Marco
don't even know
is a
who was
traitor.
hurt.
So he decides to leave the virtual world to fight Marco, taking him down and disorienting him.
Real life.
Marco manages to defeat
Wait, that's a
Carl
bad
before
dude,
he
ain't
has a chance, but just as he gives him the coup de grace, the sergeant appears rudely punishing Marco for disobeying the rules by killing one of his mates. The sergeant's beating ends up being so intense that Marco dies from the pressure. The last 3 players meet for the final station in the basement.
Bro, they really
When
getting
they
whooped
thought they
and
could
the
pass the
suit is
level
beating
defusing the
their ass
bomb
from
under
the
building,
inside.
a terrorist comes out of a nearby van,
Nah, that's
shoots
crazy,
Carl
bro. I
and
ain't
makes
gonna
him
lie.
fall while the others look for shelter.
Oh, they done did a
Luckily,
drive-by on this
Carl
fool.
had 1 life serum left, but just before using it, Shelly gets wounded too.
Yeah, Shelly.
So he decides to
Shelly.
sacrifice
Come on,
himself
Shelly.
in order to save her.
Look at Shelly little
After that,
leg.
Edward uses a bazooka to make the remaining enemy
Oh, it's
explode
over. He
and
got a
manages
bazooka.
to defuse the bomb.
They won.
Sadly, having used up his serum, Carl dies holding hands with Shelly, happy to have helped her. At the end of the game, the sergeant appears in his formal uniform, congratulating them on reaching the home stretch. To Shelly's surprise,
Wait
Edward
a minute.
repeats the sergeant's speech, showing that he was a real traitor in the operation to unknown purposes. The game concludes, the
Damn.
virtual world fades away, and men in black uniforms arrive to dispose of Carl's life.
He was with them the whole time.
Shelly tries to defend herself.
Shelly
but she's
trying to shoot him
immediately
with the
drugged
play
to the
gun.
sidelines. All the players' information is erased from the database, just like they never existed. Upon waking up still in the parking lot, Shelly has a conversation with Edward.
She got
He
that
admits
bread.
to her that he didn't believe they would make it to the end, but she criticizes him that they are all dead and it's not worth a try.
$100,000.
Edward
Where my
claims that
money
least
at?
He gave meaning to the lives of the deceased players and that no one will ever believe Shelly, even if she decides to go to the police. He sends one of his
Shelly, he
employees
right.
to sedate her again,
He
but
right.
just before the man does it, she fights back, steals his gun and escapes. With all the tactical knowledge she learned,
She ain't get
throughout
no
the
bread?
game, Shelly shoots at the lights and hides in the parking lot. Edward
Ah,
sends
she
his
like
henchmen
that now.
after
She done
her,
shot the
but
lights
she
out.
emerges victorious after a battle in the dark. She points at a desperate Edward who begs for his
It's-
life,
it's over
but
with.
Shelly shoots in the process.
Ooh.
The film concludes with a victorious Shelly.
She got the
watching
bread?
building
Where the
exit and
Duffy at?
realizing that it's already dawn.
Where the money at? What you doing?
Make sure to subscribe.
Ain't no
and
way
turn
she
on
did all that and didn't get the
notifications so
money.
You can watch more videos like this. Thanks for
She just did all that and didn't even get the bread. That's crazy, bro. Appreciate y'all watching, bro. I'm out here.